Hi, congratulations on being selected by a panel of community reviewers to receive a grant from the Regional Arts and Culture Council. My name is Molly, I use she and they pronouns, and I'm a grant specialist at RACC. In this video, I'm going to go over the process of filling out your grant agreement online. So let's get started. So the grant agreement lives in your RACC Opportunity Portal account, which you can access by logging in at racc.org/apply or following the link in your award email. When you first log in, you'll see this screen under My Applications. You can see what you've applied for in the past, what status or stage they're in, if they've been awarded or declined, and if you have any tasks to complete. Looks like we've got 2 tasks here, so let's go ahead and dive in. All right, right now we're just going to talk about this top one here, the grant agreement form. You can check out other videos that we have about the W-9 or the ACH form if you'd like. Today we're just going to do this one. So basically the grant agreement contains information about what to expect when accepting the grant funds. It gathers some information that RACC needs in order to process your award, and it outlines the next steps. In order to fill it out, the first thing you need to do is verify your contact information. So make sure that we have the right name, email, phone number, and address. It's going to ask you, is that contact information and the mailing address for you, the applicant, correct? If you say no, it'll prompt you to go ahead and make changes in your applicant profile. We're not going to go over that for now, so let's just go ahead and say, yes, that is my correct information. You have an opportunity to add a website or social media handles. And then the next question is your legal name or the name of your fiscal sponsor payee, as shown on your W-9 form, different than the applicant name listed above? So this could be your name here, but maybe you use a different name than your legal name, or maybe the funds are being directed to a fiscal sponsor on your behalf. We'll need that information for the official payment and tax forms. So we'll ask you, if it is different, to go ahead and provide us with your legal name or the name of the entity that's going to receive the payment on your behalf here. So I'll put my legal name, Autumn Park, right there. It's going to ask you the same question about your address. So maybe you put in a PO box, but you actually have a physical address that you want to get your payment sent to, or your fiscal sponsor is located elsewhere and what's up above is your personal address. So you could say, yes, it is different, and put that address in here. I'm going to go ahead and just say, no, my information that is up above is not different. Okay, the award amount. Just take a quick look, make sure this looks correct. If you have any questions about it, contact the RACC grants team. It's grants@racc.org, and we'll figure it out together. Okay, so then the form is going to ask you to verify how you would like to receive the payment. You can get a check in the mail, or you can get direct deposit into your bank account. Either one's fine with us, so just select which one is most convenient for you. So if you check mailed check, be sure, super duper sure, to verify your contact address. A check that comes back or gets lost in the mail and we need to reissue can cause significant delay in getting you your grant funds. So just take a moment to triple check what you put above for your contact address if you're requesting a mailed check. If you'd like direct deposit, the form's going to ask you to verify the last 4 digits of the account number where you'd like to receive the funds. Again, do this step carefully because bounced payments can add delays in our process as well. And we want to get you your money so you can do your thing as quickly as possible. I'm going to say mailed check for today, and we'll move on. All right. So then the next piece, there are some requirements here, some agreement check boxes. All of these were available alongside the grant guidelines with the application, so there shouldn't be any surprises here, but we'll just go over them quickly together. First up, tracking your expenses for the grant activity. Just a heads up that you will be asked to provide a final budget, including the actual costs and revenues when you complete your final report. So it's a good idea to track them, not just for RACC, but also for your own business and tax purposes. Just keep track of what money you spent on this project, and we'll ask you about it a little bit later. All right. So for this grant, it's paid in one installment upfront once this information is submitted. Some grants pay in installments. This one pays upfront all at the same time. But if you're watching this video about a grant other than Make, Learn, Build, it could be different. So just something to note. The other important part here is that you're going to receive a 1099 NEC in the mail at the end of the calendar year. So this is a tax form. Grants are considered taxable income, so you will receive a 1099 non-employee compensation form. And we do have another video you can check out about that. But just keep an eye out in the mail early in the next year after you have collected your grant income, and expect that form from us. Okie doke. About the final report. So every grant requires a final report. We ask that you do it within 45 days of completing the funded activity, and you include documentation of the activity that was supported by the grant. So the project timeline itself, that's really yours to adjust. If you need to extend it, if you happen to wrap up sooner than you thought, that's all good. That's your prerogative. What we do ask is that you get into the online system and you report out about it within about a month and a half. A couple things that does is it puts a nice little bow on top of your project. You're all done. It also means you're eligible again for additional support from RACC. And as part of your final report, we ask you to upload some documentation. This could be things like photos, videos, screenshots, receipts, etc., to show the activity that was supported by the grant. If you have any questions about either part of this, or if your timeline is changing radically from what you initially thought, it's a good idea to just check in with the RACC grants team and give us a heads up. All right, so let's say yes. Next up, this one is about using the RACC logo or acknowledgement language in your press and promotional activities. So if you need the logos, this here is a web link, and you can find different file sizes and formats. What's important to know here, and we'll go into more in another video, is that acknowledging the support from RACC is an important part of your project. It helps RACC advocate for support for artists and share the good works that are being done by the funds that RACC is allocating in the community. So be sure to do that. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Check out the other video. For now, just make sure you acknowledge that, yes, you are prepared to do so. Okie dokie, last one. So RACC grants are available to individuals, artists, creatives, arts organizations, and arts-based businesses that are within our funding region, which is Multnomah, Clackamas, and Washington counties. You may spend your funds on supplies, activities, or events that take place outside of the region, but the grantees themselves need to either be headquartered or physically reside in this service area for the duration of the grant period. If you're going to be moving out of the region or something is changing about your residence or headquarters, just go ahead and reach out to the RACC grants team and we'll make arrangements together. All right, so now you're ready to sign, certifying that all the information above is correct. You agree to the terms of the grant, and you certify that you will comply with ADA accessibility requirements and you will not discriminate in any part of your grant activity. So you'll use your cursor to sign here. Autumn. Ooh. Not getting any better. Well, I'm going to call that good enough for today, but if you wanted to clear it and do it again to make it look more like your signature, you could do so. I'm going to say that looks great. Let's mark it as complete. Now, this grant agreement lives in your account and it's accessible to you at any time for your reference. You've completed that first task, but you're not quite done yet. You'll need to upload your W-9 form, and if you select a direct deposit, you'll also need an ACH form. Check out the other videos about those two. Once you've completed them, this bar will turn green and so will the submit button, and you'll be good to go. That's what we got for you today. Thanks so much for watching. As always, feel free to reach out to the grants team. It's grants@racc.org if you have any questions, and we look forward to working with you. Thanks.